And we are live. Hi everyone, welcome in. In this video, I'm gonna go over $100,000 giveaway in terms of business funding. Stick around with me here until the very end so you'll get all the juicy details on how you can make this possible. I will let this room heat up. Welcome in, Ish Boy. How are you doing? And we will get things started once more people are seated. You know, like I like to say is, if you're tuning in for the very first time on this channel, I come out with all types of business funding solutions. We're talking about small business, large businesses, cash advances, building business credit the right way, and taking advantage of different opportunities online. That is right. We even talk about here about like passive income streams, affiliate marketing, something that I have another business in, as well as multiple ones and others. So everybody take a seat. Welcome in. This is again a channel on business funding for those of you who are new. And before I get started, if you guys need help with any of this, sincerely, you guys want more of a personalized, customized approach from a broker slash agent as well, who knows everything that goes through these underwriters, these lenders, who to select, where to go, what's the best thing for me to do, what are these online marketplaces about, what are these brokerages versus direct lenders, then make sure you guys go to the bio, click the link, and pick up some of those free resources. Like I like to say, the fastest way to get a hold of me is to fill out a funding submission form, which will be there about the second button down. So now let's get things moving. It looks like this room has heated up. Give me a wave. Let me know where you are tuning in from. How is your day going? Above all, that's what I want to know. How are you doing today? How do you feel? How's your life? How are you living? Let me know. Drop that down in the comment section. I like to take a personal approach with all my clients. Miami, nice. How is it out there? I'm sure it's really nice too. What's the weather degrees wise? Over here, I think it is, I haven't checked, but it snowed this morning. Yesterday, I think it was in like the low 30s. Yeah, it was like a 20 something at one point. But I woke up to snow and now I have the light shining through. It's about 2 o'clock. 2:05 about here Pacific Standard Time in Vancouver, Washington. And so now the light is shining through. I didn't look out the window to see if the snow has all gone, but I'm sure it's been melting little by little with this light shining in. But it was kind of a cool thing to see. Snow again. So those of you who are watching, I listed this as 100,000 giveaway, and you guys are going to understand what I mean when I talk about business loans. And I'm even going to give away 13,000. This is very legitimate stuff. So sunshine and blue sky, do I miss that? Definitely. Ah, man, especially like California because I grew up there. I mean, it wasn't always that. I would always look up at the pollution and look up at the fog and look up at the smoke. I always thought it was like a fire. It's not always a fire nowadays. But anyways, let's get right into this. In Florida, nice. Yeah, man, look at you guys over here from Florida. I work with people and lenders from Florida, from brokerages to lenders. I know business owners who live out there. I've helped get a lot of business owners from Florida, help get them funding, whether it's restaurant, retail, medical, all in between, construction, trucking, everything you name it. I'm on top of all of it. So now let me jump into this. Lucky for you, it's so sunny. Yeah. Over here, we're going to, the spring coming up and everything. Hopefully it starts getting better. I mean, I don't dislike the cold, but, California person, Orange County, but I like it over here. Love it. Been here since 2003. So, can we do e-commerce grants? Yeah, grants are not exclusive to, like, industry-wise. It can be, depending on, the type, but, yeah, there's a lot of opportunity for e-commerce, for getting grants. I don't have some off the top of my head. There are some that are older. I know there's skip grant opportunities and more of them. But if you want a full list of grants, you can go to the bio and click the link. And then towards the bottom, it'll say Grant Opportunities 2022. Free download. You get everything. And then I'm still updating that from time to time. I have all my tabs. My laptop is right here. So now, 100,000. How can you get 100,000? Those of you are like, what is the catch? This guy's giving me 100,000. I have to tune in. But for those of you who are watching and thinking, you're welcome. Yeah, what is the catch? So the purpose of why I said 100,000 when you're getting business funding is because we think of it that way. Dun dun dun, right? The little keyboard, little kitten, cat. So the thing is, when you get $100,000 in business funding, that money is coming from somebody else's pockets. That's not $100,000 that you always get. Like if it's a grant opportunity, you have to pay it back. If it isn't a grant, you're paying it back. So you're not really getting $100,000 in a gift. Yeah, in a way you might think I'm getting gifted, I'm gracious, and I'm getting it great on that level, but you're getting $100,000, but you have to pay that back. And I spoke about this. If you guys are watching me and were on my YouTube channel, I did a live about 20 minutes ago. You guys go and watch that. I just released a piece of video today on SBA EIDL updates with statistics on the most amount of approved funds for what type and the secondary use and primary use and so forth. But 100,000 you're given, and we're going to talk about reverse engineering, like going from 100 to 50 to 25, and how you should think about this. So 100,000 you're given, and I don't know your industry, I don't know your funding details. That's not relevant right now. But you're given 100,000. Now that's not a gift. Somebody needs that money back. So what are the contingencies? What are the constraints? Sure, there are personal guarantees. There are a few other things that are added into that, tax liens perhaps, but personal guarantees is for a way to the lender to say, hey, if you default, I need to secure some type of a personal asset. I need some way to make sure that I'm going to be staying safe and secure and being able to get my money back somehow. If you default on 100,000, you pay back 130,000, and again, we're just talking about general sense. Private lenders here. We're not talking about the SBA loans. We're not talking about all that. They need to secure that money. So getting 100,000 isn't a gift. So what should you do as a business owner? Yeah, you should take this serious. This isn't just handout money. This is money for you to grow and expand. Let's forget about building. Growing and expanding. When you're speaking about private lenders, yeah, it goes out of the way to say, okay, I'm trying to get out of a tight pinch. I'm trying to make payroll. I'm trying to do some debt consolidation, some type of a refinance situation, maybe inventory, and the list goes on and on. But unlike the SBA ADL, which the numbers did state that a lot of the people who use the primary uses for, it was for really surviving. That's what it is. Like at the end of the day, if you're looking for survival money, maybe that's the way to go. But then two, if you're looking for alternative funding, you don't qualify for the bank loans. I mean, you don't even qualify for an online banking term solution. Some do. I'm speaking with people right now who are in the process of getting a bank loan, but if it doesn't work or they want an alternative on top, we'll see if we can get them a bank term loan here or some type of an SBA, and we'll go from there. But not everybody qualifies for that. So you have to look at it like, I get 100,000. Woo, yeah. But I still got to pay this back or this, right? It's payback or this. So you have to consider what are the costs you're going to endure for being able to do this. How much experience do you have, Grace, with real estate investing? Let me start there. And if you need help, this is going to be the best thing for me to do because I don't want to touch into the real estate side of things on this video. So there are liquidity things, there are assets, there are other questions that have to be asked for me to get a proper assessment. The type of credit score, do you have a maybe less desirable credit score and we have to bring in a partner and so forth. But all this can be answered if you submit I don't know if you've done this already. Maybe you have and I still have to go through this. But in my bio, you click the link, about 3 or 4 buttons down, it'll say real estate funding form or something like that. It goes to my page. And you want to fill out those details, right? So it all depends. Oh, you did? Okay. So I maybe still have to go through this, or maybe I didn't give you a response back. So yeah, I'll go through it. I'll make note of that here, actually. Let me get my notepad. All right. So I will look through this, and I'll do my best to give you feedback. Sometimes I'll just give you a response like, well, this looks good, or maybe I just need you to give me a little bit more information. I have an individual today. I don't even know. Like, if you're going to give me an email, just give me your email. I don't know if they just intentionally didn't give me the right one or they just left the letter out. They maybe added something else. But there's no way this person has a good profile, but I'm like, there's no way for me to, like, know. And I haven't called them yet. I sent them a text. I'm giving you guys time. Like, And then if I have to give you a call, I will. Like, I'm following up with you. I just want to make sure, you know, it's not a long phone call. I just want to let you know that we're taking care of your information. Everything looks good. I just need to get this. I'm not sure if you saw my text. I couldn't even send you an email. Or I did send you an email. I don't know if you saw it. So it'll all be like that. So make sure you be on the lookout for it. So 100,000. You're being gifted that. It's not truly 100,000 in a gift. And I'm going to be getting into some bonuses in a moment, so stick with me. So whether it is 100,000, it is 75, 50, 25,000, it doesn't change it. What you guys need to change is the understanding of what you're getting yourself into. That is the logic in all of this. And I have people on a daily basis who don't understand that, and it's okay. Some of you guys are in a further step than others because you guys consume my content. And on my content, you guys get everything you need to know. Tips from underwriters, tips from lenders that you don't hear everywhere else. You get this at face value, even before you go and apply. This is not stuff you get when you're in the process. And you don't even get it in the process. They don't communicate that with you as strongly as I would. So this is stuff that I openly give to you guys. So that's a gift. That's like here's the doors, here's everything you need to know. Now, the ball is in your court. If you feel comfortable doing this and it makes sense to move forward, then we can talk again. Or if it doesn't make sense to you, and maybe it does in the future, that is okay with me. I don't ever pressure somebody to do something they don't want. So if you're taking a 50,000 amount out, understand that it goes deeper than just an interest rate. And this is a big tip right here. So if I'm giving, and I talked about this on the channel earlier, so I'll just briefly touch upon this here. 50,000 approved for. We've already established you can get approved for 50,000. It's an offer you get. Now, you're thinking, well, what are my interest rates? Even before this offer was presented to you, we've likely spoken about it. So what are my interest rates? What is my rates? What is my APR? What am I looking at? And I won't get into the specifics on how to calculate all that. Don't worry. I won't bore you guys with the numbers, stuff that I do. So you're expecting to pay back 57,000. Let's say that. All right. And then we're giving you upwards of 10 months. Well, as a business owner, even before you've said it to me, you're already thinking it, and I am too. We're on the same page. So 10 months, 210 about payment, 21 days, and then I divide that by this 57,000, 210 or so. And then I'm giving a daily payment. I'm not actually doing the numbers. I'm just putting some notes here. So daily, we have weekly, and then I have by if necessary. I'll add that, and then I have the monthly. So most business owners, and I know the psychology 100%. I know what people are hiding. I know when people are like lagging, when people are not serious. I get it because I myself have gone business funding, so I know the world very well, and so I know in about 90% cases what's going on before it's even happened. Like if we haven't communicated why that's the case, I know, but if it comes down to you're busy, that's not the right. There's no excuse. Let's put it that way. There's no excuse. We're busy. I'm busy. I have multiple businesses. I wear multiple hats. I have responsibilities I need to do when I'm not doing this. This is like a hobby. It's what I do. It's how I treat it. It's fun for me. It's what I devote a lot of my time and energy to. And so I don't want to waste my energy. I don't want to waste my time with people who are not serious. And what I do is unparalleled to what you're going to get in other places. On the fact that, again, I give you guys more of a personalized and customized approach. I get to know each and every one of you on a much deeper level. It's not a transaction to me. I look at it as a relationship with you guys. And if you guys are not being taken care of, then that's on me. And the problem is there's so many places you guys go to and you're misinformed or you're not getting the best offer. They're grossly giving you rates that you're like, why did I even get this? And I helped another individual sort that out. Like he was getting too much of a payback amount, and I'm like, well, this is why you got it. This program, I wouldn't have done that. These lenders maybe are not the best, and then we got him over here and we were able to help him out. So if you're gifted 100,000, it's not truly that. 50,000, no, I don't want to sound redundant. But what you got to look at is the total payback, not the actual interest rate. At some point, it's not about the interest rate, it's about the total payback. Would you guys agree with me on that? Like, it's not, when we've gone so far, and sometimes it can take a bit of thinking over and looking at it and saying, well, sure, I'm expected to pay back, the percentage is 25% in interest. Thank you, Gracie. And so 25% in interest, sorry, there's like a glare here. Some of the light's shining through. And so 25,000, let's say you get 25,000 and then your total payback is like 32,000. Yeah, you start doing you're like, where it's not necessarily an interest rate, but that's what we're going to calculate it on. So what does the actual payback amount look like? What are my terms? What are my expectations? And can I really fulfill on that? Can I pay this off earlier? Early payment discounts, no prepayment penalties. What's happening there? And so that's what I want to get into with you guys. I want to get you guys to understand that it's more than just an interest rate. It's not that at all. There's a bigger problem you guys are dealing with. And it's the belief. It's more of a fear thing. It's more of a it's not secure with what it'll look like in about a month from now, in about a week, in about a day. It's more about living in the present moment. So we, as business owners, need to understand our KPIs. We need to understand how do we maximize our conversions. We need to understand the law of numbers, the law of averages, and see how we're budgeting all that. How is our accounting being done? How is all this being taken care of? Because if we don't track these things, this is why you're in the situation you're in. If you don't do proper bookkeeping, accounting, you don't have somebody doing it for you, or you're not doing it yourself, there's a reason why you're in the situation you're in this predicament. And it's because you don't take the funding ultimately because of that. And it's sure a thing about revenue, yeah, insufficient cash flow. Well, then let's look at a line of credit. Maybe a lump sum doesn't work. Maybe the way you're doing real estate investing like this won't work for you. Maybe this program works like this. Okay, do you own this? Do you have a mortgage? How much of this are you paying? These are deeper questions that I get into, and I love it. Each and every one of you have a place here, and I take care of you guys like if you guys were my family, just personal family, and I want to look over you guys. So I don't want anybody to like run in here and like just say, hey, come here. You get some stocky looking person who's like, you know, hey, I'm here to help you, and you know what I mean? Like, you guys got to be careful with who you go to. But yeah, so let's see. Does anybody have any questions pertaining to business funding? I will take them now, and I will give this about another minute or so, and then I'm gonna go like. Yesterday I was I don't know if you guys saw me on the YouTube live, and I had a birthday party I went to go to yesterday, and so we had pizza. We had a mobile, like one of those oven pizzas. So I didn't have food until 10. That took a little bit of time. Got home about 12. Didn't go to bed until like 1. Couldn't go to sleep. And then I woke up about 8, a little bit later than I wanted to, usually. And so it's been great, very productive, as it is every day. It's just been one of those, like, I got to push it through. I don't know if you guys are having that today, or you guys have had that anytime this week, where you're like, oh, I'm coming to the end. My productivity levels are dropping, and I feel like I'm just being busy at the moment. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like in between those two. So what do you guys have planned going on for the weekend? What do you guys have going on tomorrow? I do mentorship, Gracie, but I don't have it as, keyword, as open. Yeah, and the best way for me to help you guys at the moment is my free Facebook group. I don't know if you're in that group, Gracie, but I offer it to all business owners, all real estate investors. This is a fast-growing group. Some of you guys are like, why haven't I never heard of you? Well, it's because, I wasn't around. When I was around, I wasn't posting as much. I was more about behind the scenes. Yeah, so let me see. The fastest way for you to get there, well, one would be to go through my email list. Sometimes I send an automated broadcasted email, and then I'll let you know to join. But let's see. If you fill out those funding details, which you already have, by the way, the best way to do it, let me find the... I don't think I could post... Yeah, I can post a comment here, but let me look at it on my laptop, and I'll find the proper name for you. So then you can also find it by searching on Facebook. And I might just actually put the URL here. I don't want to leave the TikTok app. You're welcome. And so let me see this. It's loading. No, that's not the URL I wanted. All right, let me see if I can put it in here. The comments interact, right? Yeah. No, it's not that. Sometimes I don't get it right either. I don't always like put a comment. Let's see. More, I think. Yeah, there it is. All right, so let me see if I can put this. Typing it in. Please don't look up my nostrils. I'm kidding. I'm joking. Yeah, I don't have the. I have the ending URL, the sub URL. But I'm not sure where it went. I gotta look through it in a different way. 2, 1, 2. So you guys are gonna get this like long list of numbers. 8, 8, 9. Hold on. 2, 8. I gotta read these numbers. Alright, that should be it. Alright, so maybe you guys can copy that. I have the sub URL, like I said, it's usually like business loan. I gotta look for it though. I just have the number right now to go off of. But I don't know if you guys can even copy that. Probably not, but if you type in at the moment what it's under, and this isn't all the thing this isn't the only solution I offer. This is what I named it as, kind of like an SEO thing. So it's called Merchant Cash Advance Solutions. And then it has a little block like this with small business loans after it. So it'll say Merchant Cash Advance Solutions, small business loans. So here, I'll put it in the comment section. And again, it's not only that I offer that. So let's say merchant. It's more of an SEO thing. Advanced Solutions. And then I'll put this there. All right, there it is. So that's what you want to type in. And then it's also something I give you guys, like if you guys download my free checklist, it'll come in the form of an email. If not in the beginning, it'll come in there in time where I say, hey, have you joined the group? You're welcome to come in. And it's open for you. But there's a lot of posting going on there. This is what's going to keep you the most up to date. Like if I release a video, which I've been doing consistently on a daily basis, you'll get it there. You'll see blog post stuff if necessary. You'll get all my updates, things that are happening. You're going to be staying in the loop. You're going to be knowing the latest guidelines, the underwriting processes for different services, product services, and so much more. So let's see. Anybody else would like to know anything? And again, the best thing for you guys to do, if you haven't done already, is to submit a funding form that is in my bio. And I literally do this every day. As an expert, guys, this isn't like you're getting somebody who doesn't know their stuff. I know my stuff exceptionally well. And then I break it down into numbers where it's necessary to. So I'm going to my email right now. I didn't have it opened in my tab. So yeah, I've been having people, since I've checked, I've had more people submitting their funding forms. I have them right here, looking at one. Okay. Yeah, and then like this, like, I don't know if you're watching, you may know, but, well, I was expecting more of a number there. So, like in all spots, try to, like, where it's asking for credit score, for one, try to put a number in there. Because if I'm given like if I'm giving like the word good, fair, excellent, like I don't know where that falls between, because we might have a different understanding of what that is. So if you're telling me that it's fair, I don't know what range it's in. I know the range. What I'm saying is I don't know the exact. I need to know the number. Like I need to be given that, and it doesn't affect your credit score. This isn't me submitting it, and I know that might be on the top of your mind. It's like, I'm giving them my credit score. What's he gonna do with it? I won't do anything with it. I don't do nothing with it until you later on you go and submit it of an application. Usually a soft pull, okay, to start. A lot of the times, just usually soft pull. But yeah, that's what I need to know. So this particular file that I'm looking at, And I like to just kind of give some examples out and some, not critique, but I want to like go through them and I have it on my screen. So this person will be a little bit more difficult to get funding for because the monthly sales, it's not so much the time in business. It has less to do with the fare. Fare, yeah, you can say they won't get as much as what they would think they can get for a specific service. If we have a barometer, the place that they're in doesn't matter as much for this situation. The type of funds they want to use it for, yeah, I'm sure I know why they're asking for that amount. Makes sense, but it'll be difficult because at the most, if you're just like never gotten funding before, a minimum of 5,000 is what we want. Realistically, is what we're looking at. We want at least 5,000 plus per month within each of the last 3 months, and that's to qualify for like a lump sum in just about all cases. Like with lines of credit, online banking term solutions, there's companies out there like Bluevine who require you to have 10,000, and that's within each of the last 3 months. That's not 1 10-month and then a 5-month and then you had a 6-month. No, that won't work. Perhaps if you're close enough to 10K, maybe it's like, or even if it's just 10K, it's still difficult. You're hanging on 10K, 9K, 9,500. We can try to push it, but as long as it almost like averages out, but at such a low minimum, it'll be really hard, even if you have great details elsewhere. So it's usually in your best interest to have strong revenue when it comes to any of these SPAs, usually credit, cash flow, collateral. Other ones just revenue based, but they also want credit. We can go off of that. So revenue does do a big difference. So if you have revenue and then credit followed up, which is up there, the better. So I always recommend you guys, and I won't go to get into this, is try to fix your credit scores if needed. I have an individual who I believe I'll speak to next week. He's below the 600 range for a certain line of credit that he can qualify for. So I need to help him with that, and I'm going to see where he's at, if he's improved on it, if he's not, maybe what other options on the table. Does he really need the funding? Can he take what he can get and use it to grow and expand his business? So there's all these little factors. So Levon, welcome in. Hopefully you guys are getting value out of this. And if there's anybody you guys feel who can get value, please send my information their way. They can come here and watch me live. We can like joke around a bit. And then we can just get into business and understand, what it is you actually need. Because at the end of the day, your bottom line is your bottom line. And so that's what needs to be helped with. One other thing too that I find funny, there are times where I like get on the call with people and I have to be vague. I can't be, if I'm so open and I give you like numbers, it's just going to like float around in your mind. If you didn't even write it down, it's just going to float. And so maybe it sticks, maybe it doesn't. Depends on how deep I go. But that information is usually in your emails that I send you guys. And so some people are like, yeah, this is helpful, but you're being kind of vague. Well, if I weren't as vague, then this information, again, would just float around. I can only give you a limited amount. But in that email, you will get everything. So some people are kind of quick to be, not judgy, but quick to be assumptuous of it. And I don't want to like sound smart telling you that this is why I do it this way and it should be done this way. But then you guys get the realization and go, oh, okay, well, I probably shouldn't have said that. That makes sense. So the things you think of, really, I have thought of. So I'm always going in prepared into a situation, which also, by the way, people who want mentoring, my group is one way I can help you guys. The one-on-one Zoom calls, I used to do a lot. I don't do them right now as often. I have a lot on my plate. And then I have so much on top of those plates. But I do try to come around to it from time to time. I may invite people to do a live. But I do that mentoring, especially for those who get funding as well. Maybe they need help with their business. So I do a lot of also marketing and advertising. I've come from that world, digital marketing agency. And quote unquote here, I put incentives out there for those of you who do get funding through me that you guys wouldn't get elsewhere. It's amazing stuff. Like free vacations, free Facebook organic paid advertising, SEO, local Google ads, Instagram traffic, everything else in between. You guys name it, I've done it already. So that's what you guys get with coming through me if you guys get business funding. So, and there's some little limitations here and there on what you can get offered, but that's for the most part. Let us see who is commenting. Yeah, and at any point, if you guys have any questions, do leave them for me in the comment section. If I don't see yours and I miss it, I'm sorry about it. Sometimes I do. That's just the nature of it. But I try to do a good job at looking back. After this is done, again, I'll be taking a short break. We have somebody here. Okay, so I have somebody who just replied back to one of my... So this is what's happening every day. So just so you guys know, that what I'm doing is what I say I'm doing. I don't just speak it. You know those scammers online, those... I don't want to start naming people. They present themselves, and they maybe are, but they just like jumped on top of a trend and they got to where they got to. But I don't do any of that. So I got an email that came through from an individual who they read through my email. I personalized and customized. If I can show you guys, I would, but I don't want to get into their file. And so it's in here. So this person here, I'm going to click. I'm going to read something really quick while you guys are on here. I might get off in a bit to help them. Okay. Oh, see, that's not a good thing. So, okay. Yeah, I mean, that's deposits, but does that mean it's the overall amount of sales you're doing? Not exactly. Okay, so yeah, I have an individual here who's just telling me how much they're doing and how much of the deposits, excuse me, they're putting too many, the kinds of deposits that are going into the account. And what I say to that is at least 3+ deposits per month is depending on the lender or depending on the service. Sometimes it's more, sometimes you see up there like 7+, but usually the more the better. And I just have an individual saying how much they've been putting into their accounts from February, then January, December, and then November. And if we looked at the last 3 months, sometimes we even look deeper. So we'll probably look at that November month and see what's worth him getting. Yeah, so okay, I know how I'm going to help him. But he's just saying, I just want to know what I can get approved for. What can I qualify for? I just don't want to. He's saying I don't want to waste any. That's good. I don't want to waste anybody's time. He needs the money as soon as possible. How straightforward is that? Perfect. That's what I need. That's all I need is your honesty. I don't need you being wishy-washy. I don't need this like going around the corner and not being truthful about something. Just be honest, so we're not wasting anybody's energy or our time. I just want to be helping people. I don't want to be here. What if this? What if that? What if this? Like I just spoke to an individual the other day. Like I don't know if you're watching, but you're like, I want to try this, and then I want to see if this works, and then at the end of the day, it's like, what the hell? We didn't even do anything. Like, why did you even want that if that's not gonna work? If I clearly I showed you it before we even did it, but I was nice enough to say, hey, this is what you could qualify for, and then like, oh, then I can't qualify for that. And I'm like, oh no. So I don't waste time like that. It's just I'm like, what? So if I have to be like, what at the end of all this, like I just ran a marathon, I don't mind like helping and mentoring, but if it's like being a wishy-washy situation, no. Afuera. That means out. And so being nice too about it, not like get out of here. It's like out. And there are people who are like that. It doesn't matter again how much revenue you're doing per month. I could care less. What I care about is you as who you are as a human being. Can you match what I have to match? If you can, or if you can't, it's okay. But be truthful, be honest, and that's it. So let's see. We have a few people joining in. So I guess while I have you guys on here, you guys have any questions? I'm gonna go a little silent. I'm gonna try to reply to this guy, try to help him out, and see what I can do for him. All right, so I'm gonna just leave this one in draft for a bit, and then I'll get back to him because there's a few things I want to ask him. So let's see. We have Jessica. Welcome in, and you guys take advantage of this time. This is part, of not the whole mentoring thing, but you guys can ask me a question, and you guys don't know how good it's going to be for you guys, because you guys can try to show me other people who are as open like this as I am. And I know it's not easy for everybody, and it's not easy for me. Like, video is the hardest thing out of everything. I'm an introvert. I'd rather be behind the computer blogging, because I do have blogs, but this is one of my best ways to help you guys, and so I want to make sure I'm doing my part. Let's see, what else can I give you guys that is unscripted right now? We just went over the 100,000. It's not a gift. It's somebody else's money. Do your best, and in that bubble, like, you're doing your best, right? You're making those payments. Show the lenders that you can pay them back. Hey, if I got a daily payment or if I got a weekly payment, oh, so be it. Let's see if I can move from daily to weekly, and if weekly to monthly, that's not always the case. But hey, I paid this amount off. That's good. Now let me see if I can do this again, and then I can try to get into a different spot this time around, get lower rates, increase the amount of funding I can get, increase the terms. Maybe it wasn't desirable. I've been there. It's not easy. It almost like constrains you, and if it's a cash flow problem, we can discuss your options. So I want to look at this. And again, it's the end of the month. If your bank statements look to where you want them to be, it's best to get an application in before the end of the month, before you have your February bank statements rolling in, because it may not be where you want them to be. And so getting into a situation like that, no, I wouldn't say, Grace. The only way it can be hard in the sense, like, if we're getting specifically like how to support newbies, now that's a whole different topic. Like, how am I supporting newbies and beginners? In the sense that, am I going to be on a Zoom call with them? Am I going to offer them my phone call and time every single second of the day? Usually it's a no right now. What I'm trying to do though is I'm trying to put a course together, because I really need to educate you guys. Even my material on YouTube and elsewhere, like this, does all that. So I'll include some of that with other content, but I really want to have an A to Z approach, so you guys get to understand at the very top, what are your standards? What are you looking at? What realistically can you get? What is our thought process? How do we think? What is the outermost shell, our outcome? That's our what we want to get. What does the inner shells look like? That's our how. That's our processes, what we have to look at. What is the inner shell? That's our who we want to become, because it's very important we understand who we are and why we're trying to get to where we get to. Because if we don't get an understanding of our own identity, then it won't ever make sense why you never get the funding you get. You'll always be, in a lack of a better sense, the B word, CHING, around, because you don't get something. You're always gonna be complaining. But newbies, yeah, I do go the mile to help out. Just depends on like the situation at hand. If you're a complete newbie and maybe you have no revenue and time in business, I still devote the time and energy, but I handle it in a different way, because again, like, I know you're not ready for funding at the moment, but I have content that can address what you need help with for now. And then there's another group of people who are like, okay, I'm already here at this level that, yeah, it's obvious I have to devote my energy. It's not because of a transaction, it's because they're ready. So that's the thing. It's just I have to. Like, it's not like I'm obligated. It's like that's the logistics. Isn't it in your business? That's the logistics. Real estate investing, I have to understand I gotta get rehab money, I gotta do this. But then there's something else over there that I have to attend to. No, that I gotta work over here. So this is something fairly new. But no, I gotta go do this. So yeah, I do give you guys my time and energy very humbly. It's never like, oh, I gotta talk to a new. It's never that. But I usually give you guys some form of content, and I show you guys, hey, here's the fastest thing to do. Especially with the emails, like everybody here who doesn't qualify, I go the extra mile and I say, hey, if you don't qualify, anyways, here's the options you will qualify for once you get to where you need to get to. Here's what's on the table for you. Come back in time. At least you know these options are there. And then I even offer business credit building. So if you need help with that, here's a video series. Go pick it up, which is in the bio, by the way. And once you go there, that'll show you what to do. And so if you can't, like I just told an individual the other day, like he needs help getting business funding. He's not sure why he was getting disapproved. And I literally spoke to him. He's in my Facebook group. I'm in the group right now looking through it. But he reached out to me in the messenger. He said, I got disapproved for funding. And it turns out it's because he has insufficient revenue. And so that is really hard. Like when you don't have the revenue, it's a hard reality, but I have to give it to you. I have to be like, hey, this is why. And I don't say it in a hard way. I say, hey, this is why. Because we require at least $5,000 plus per month within each of the last 3 months. No lender would like to do less than that. And if you qualified for that, this is how much you can get approved for, up to 75% of that. We're not looking at about 100 to 200% or 1 to 2% ratio of it. So if that's the case, then what can we do? You don't get what you want, then if you can't get approved, take what you can get if it makes sense. Use it, come back, receive more funds, time and time again, get to your goal, go for it. And that's what a lot of people do when they look at the rates and they think they're too high. They scale back and then they work from there up. And so that's the true cost, I think, of capital. When I think about it, is how much will it cost me over time? Because if I'm continuously taking it out, what would that be like? And so I do these numbers for myself. I do these numbers for business owners. I calculate the APRs when needed. I do it all. And there's no one better person than the other. Just because you did, okay. There's no one person better than the other, and I appreciate you. There's no one better person than the other. Just because you have better financial details than somebody else doesn't make that person any better. Each one of you are the same to me. It does not. Period. Even if you have a stronger relationship, even if I did have a stronger relationship with somebody, does not mean that I only prefer them over you or someone else. No. And don't think because I didn't get to you right away, it means because, oh, I don't have good funding details. No, not necessarily does it mean that. It can if you just, like I responded today to so many people who have a lack of revenue, a lack of a credit score, a lack of credit worthiness, a lack of business and even credit with FICO, and the list goes on. And it's like, yeah, I didn't have to spend some energy and time into that, but I did. And if they're not looking through that email, so be it. Yeah, it is my energy, it is my time. But like I said, who will go the extra mile? Give me a name of a person right now. And I'm very, what's the word? Proficient about things, and I'm very productive about how I do things, and punctual. That's the one I was looking for. So I need to be like energy saving, time saving. So I'm really like that. Every single day I'm disciplined. I know my boxes. I know what I'm doing. I'm checking things off as I go, finishing my projects, moving on to the next one that was already on my list. And if I don't get to you, it's usually because of that. My mornings are filled with other things. I can't always reply to every single person. I have to blog in the morning. I do my meditations before all that. And then I get into posting the video that maybe I did the night or the days before. And so I got to do these things. I got to send you guys an email broadcast. I go through the groups and I post my videos. I accept people into the group. I go to LinkedIn. I post on LinkedIn. It's all over. So, and then by the time I get to you guys, maybe it is a little bit later. I spoke to this other person who is in the field, and they weren't too happy. I had not quote unquote exposed them, but they reached out to me saying, "Oh, what you're saying, I think is like hurting business," and I get it. I never want to hurt anybody's business. It wasn't really that bad what I was saying. It was truthful. Some things needed to be updated, but I'm happy they reached out. So here, yeah, and then I went through the process, and then I had some questions of my own that weren't answered. So usually when somebody deflects an answer, that means something different. But I had to prove a point that, hey, you're bringing this up, but you're bringing this to the table. You're trying to dish this out, and I'm giving you an answer. Then why can't you give me that answer back in return? And you're a business owner. You're the owner of the company. There's something here that doesn't align, and there's a reason why this was said the way it was said. It's not necessarily hurting your business. It's just kept in the right guidelines. And so we got on better terms and better pages. But sometimes people don't give you that. Don't accept an answer the way they give it to you. It doesn't make sense. So here, let's say, okay. Nice. So now I know your name. And yes. Okay. You did submit your real estate form. Now that I have you here, I'm not sure if you got a text message from me, Anik. Check your phone. You probably have 1 billion people text messaging you. I think I sent you, I think it was in an email too. Let me see over here. Yeah, pretty sure. This is the one that went. Yeah, you did not submit to me your proper email, by the way. I don't know if you did that intentionally or by mistake. Unless it's a different person, but you guys have the same name. Or am I getting this twisted? Let's get to the bottom of this. So did you... Okay, wait. Okay, never mind. No. Okay. You guys both... What a coincidence. You guys both have the same name, and that's very unique. What? Your last name isn't Nam, is it? It's, I'm not going to say your last name, but it's not Nam, is it? Kind of said it if it is. But, yeah, I have somebody by the same name. Wait a minute. It wasn't you who submitted your real estate details on yesterday, did you? At around 11:51, I think it was here. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's you or it could be somebody else with the same name, but that's a very unique name. I like it. And then that is okay. See, now the stars are aligning. So yeah, I sent you an email. So 2 hours ago, 11:58, just before noon, asking, and I'm not gonna get into the full details. I also sent you a text. So I said, yeah, okay, yeah. I didn't mean to put your last name out. I didn't want to do that. Sorry. But yeah, I asked you, a question. I'm not sure if you got the text message, but I have your. Let's see. Is this the most updated email I can send it, or did you want to make a correction on that email? Because I didn't deliver. So I'm on top of this. So I'm working on your file. I'm waiting to hear back from you. I didn't know this was you. Now that I do know, you've been in here the whole time, and I've been trying to get a hold of you, but I didn't call you. Like I said, I don't just call people out of the blue like that. Like I like to have a process and a system set up. So, I don't want to. I can ask you the question here, but I don't want to get into that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to put it out in front of everybody else. But I asked you a question in there, and I actually sent you a text message. I'm not sure if that's your phone or your mobile or your business number, but we're just like one step away. Okay, and so we're just like one step away here, so I can try to get you your rates and terms. So I just want to. I don't know if you want me to ask you the question here, but it's. So the only thing is like, it's not like a confidential thing. It's just asking about the property and some type of mortgage question. But check your text message. Send me a text back. It is my 360-601-8413. I'll put it out there. I don't mind. And I don't usually like doing that. I don't ever do that. But I just wanted to put that so you know. That's who sent you the text message. So you can even reply to. You probably don't want to leave right now, but I mean, maybe this is the best way for me to ask you this question. Maybe it isn't. How about I use the email you sent me from trying to sign up with the group, and then I can do that. Let me actually, and it's an Outlook number. It's an Outlook number. It's from Outlook, so I'm gonna use my my Outlook as well, my Hotmail. The reason is sometimes it doesn't connect from Gmail to Hotmail, especially from Gmail to Yahoo. I've seen that case a lot. So yeah, I mean, it's all here. Let me quickly send you it. See if you can find it. Yeah, let me quickly. I'm gonna copy and paste it over so I can send it back. But yeah, look at my text message if that's your mobile number. Okay. Let me copy this message. While I have you on here, I'll do this. I'm not sure if you can stay on this app and then check that out. So I'm going to use my email from Hotmail, okay, because of the connection. And then I'll resend it through my Gmail. 1 second. And this is a good scenario. Everybody in here is learning a little something, even though it doesn't pertain to what I was talking about earlier. But this is a good situation and a good real-time thing for you guys to understand of what to do. And then I'm going to add on a little bit more details after this is done. Nothing bad. I just want to say some things and make sure everybody's on the same page. And yeah, it might have something to do with being punctual. So Bella is saying, "Oh, hi Bella, how are you doing? 100,000 giveaway. I'm just kind of coming in. Happy to have you here, first and foremost. Thank you for being here. Hope you're doing well. Hope your week has been going well. And the $100,000 giveaway is not a giveaway. Like, I may do that later, but what it is, hey, if you're getting 100,000 as a quote unquote gift from a lender, it's not really a gift, right? It's money you have to give back. This is money from people that they expect you to pay back, right? They will take some personal guarantee into an effect if necessary. Some don't always require that. Most of them do. But that's what I speak about. Whether it's 150, 25K, there is not a gift. The gift is, yeah, it's going to help you, your business, your baby, your babies. But at the end of the day, you have to make those payments back. And if you default, there are repercussions to this, just as anything else in life, right? So 150, 10, it's not necessarily a gift. It's more of a like, hey, I wanted you guys to make sure you guys watch this type of thing, a headline. But it's on all good things. So, Anik, I'm sending you this message here in just a second. Yeah, on a loan, cash advance, of any magnitude. And we're not talking about a grant, so, something you don't pay back. But that even then is not, I wouldn't consider it a full-on gift. So, I'm just going to enter the subject line here. And I'll say it out loud in a moment. It's not nothing confidential. Hold on a second. This is awesome. I'm happy you were tuned in. Like, what a time. Okay, so I'm using the Outlook email. Okay. And I get it. Maybe, sometimes, I'm not saying you did this, but we don't always know the other person. Like, you don't even know me personally. Like, why should I trust you? Right? We're talking business stuff. I don't know too much about you personally. Like, I like to get to know people, not even on a deep level. It's just like on a surface level. It's like, hey, how are you doing? What do you have going on? Oh yeah, you do this. And I get to know people like, oh, they have a family. Cool, nice. What do you guys like to do on weekends? What do you guys have planned? Oh, you're into that? Oh, that's cool. I'm similarly, I like doing these kinds of things too. I'll go to the marketplace. I'll go downtown maybe once in a while, grab some food. But yeah, here, I just sent you the email. I'll tell you the subject line in a second. Sent items. So it's going to say your real estate property details inside and then your name. So that's the subject headline, and it's coming from mgranados92@hotmail.com. And then let me resend it on my Gmail. I'm going to try to forward this over. So you're gonna get a forward right now. Yeah, what a coincidence. Even, and I appreciate you and everybody else here watching. I'm keeping count of who's in the room. Don't think I don't see these things. I'm a very observant person. As an introvert, that I'm thankful for being a Libra who likes being very cerebral about things. Can't even say the word now because I've been on video for such a long time. Let's see. So there we go. I think I did this right. Yeah, let's do that. So I just sent it on my Gmail as well, so you'll be getting that. And then, yeah, the fastest thing you can do if you don't look at that email is look at your text. It should be in there. I think I used the right number. I won't say your number here. But since you provided with me your number, if it's mobile, great, even better, because that way you'll get it. If it's business, sometimes, it doesn't go through because it's a business number attached to the company. But yeah, just answer that simple question. Boom, done. Then I'm like, if I get a good answer there, then, do I need to follow it up with something? Then I will. But you're good to go. So yeah, it's just a very straightforward question. It's nothing serious. It's just, I just need to know this to progress to the next step and see what I can get you. Now, let's see who is in here. Got a few amount of people. I know people come and they go, but those of you who do stick around on a day like today, I keep notice. I keep tabs, and I know who's being serious about what they need, and whether it is funding right now, whether it's in a month, years from down the road, I got you. I'm gonna situate you. I'm gonna get you the best option. I'm gonna find you the best lenders, because I have connections, personal connections with them, and then my underwriters, bar none. I try to help. Like I told my cousin yesterday, I brought it up. Hey, Steve, yesterday, and I spoke to him. I'm like, I was trying to get somebody a line of credit, but they didn't have. They were just about a month below the year in business. They have more years in business, but they just transferred. Like they just recently had their LLC. They had an EIN for longer, and then the underwriter goes, I go, we can't do this. You know better. And I'm like, yes, I knew better. I did. But I just thought I'd try. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those situations where I'm like, at least I thought I would try. Are you talking about business credit on the Payback scale, or are you talking about your FICO? Let's see. No, I appreciate you too. Every one of you. Like, you guys are all family to me. And so I treat you guys like I said. If you're sitting right next to me, we're not even in an office. We're like just hanging out right now. Just cool. Here's what I can help you with. Just like, hey, do you want to have some juice? There's some water. You want coffee? There's tea. I'm going to go hang out. Help out some more people. There we go. So let's see who is joining in the room. Oh, your company credit score. I'm not sure why I thought about that. Yeah, so there are ways to increase that. I don't know. What are you using? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I don't know what kinds of credit cards are you? I'm not going to get into that subject. That's probably something we can talk about off of this. There are ways about going about it. I won't get into corporate. I won't get into like all the ways you can build credit. The best thing to do though is go to the bio and look through those free resources. There's like some credit building sources if you haven't already, and pick that up. But I spoke about this in another live. I'll try to upload it to the channel. There's some great tips and bonuses that you can do, but I won't get into it too much here. So yeah, go view those resources if you haven't, but there are ways of building it back up. It just depends on the file. It just depends on what amount of debt, what amount of, what kind of situation are you finding yourself in. It's just a whole different level of helping fix business credit and personal credit. So with a DUNS number, how do I get company credit? So let me ask you this, Mark. How much business credit have you established? I don't know if we've gone over this before, but there are levels to this when you're building business credit and you're trying to establish company credit. You can't just jump from, when you're trying to build trade lines, yeah. So if you're trying to build get these vendors and build these trade lines, and usually the more the better. Like nowadays, especially for personal equipment loans and all types with top tiers too, like 5 or more trade lines is what you're required to have. And if there's no credit worthiness, it's really difficult. Like bar none. I've had to decline so many people just recently. Like they've come through. Oh, they only had 2 trade lines. Well, what's my solution? And I gave them an answer, and I said, well, the best thing to do, of course, is to build more. Now let me look to see what you're doing. Maybe we can make this faster and find a better way with maybe certain business credit cards, something we can do. You're not applying it correctly. Maybe you're not making the right amount of purchases, the right types of purchases, or maybe it's a ground level thing. So when you're building, this is what I love doing. Like if you're building business credit, you do have to have like these 7, and I call them the 7 elements, and I won't get into all of them here, but at the very bottom is like your DUNS number, where you get that, and then how to build things with like your BNB and like Experian and Equifax. So if you need help with all this, and if you haven't downloaded it yet, there's a free video series I have in the bio. You go towards the bottom, it'll say Building Credit Business Credit 101 or something similar. And that will give you like a free video series on those 7 things, some extra tips. And then underneath that will be more videos, so you can understand how to not only just once you have you have your DNB, then what do you do thereafter? Where should you take it next? Do you have online banking, or who should you bank with? And a few other resources. So make sure to check that out. But I won't go into it too deeply here. So, but yeah, with Experian and things like that, you just have to understand what your reports are. Like at the end of the day, how smartly are you looking through your reports? Yeah, it is a low medium risk. Yeah, so there's ways to fix that, especially with you're looking at your Payback scale. Like I spoke to an individual the other day, was around the 70s, but they're doing all these different things. They have a 40,000 amount quote unquote debt on something throughout their trade lines, and they're paying it off as fast as possible. And that's the right thing to do. But yeah, there's going to be little ins and outs to doing that I can't get into thoroughly right here, but my content will give you more tips and stuff like that. So let's see, we have a few people here. I'm looking through my Facebook, and I'm just about to accept a few. And if I don't do it right now, I know, Anik, if you're still watching, I will approve you in time, if not now. I'm going to take a quick break. And I have more people who have been asking to join. The thing is, I try to keep this group as business oriented as possible. If you guys are in this group and feel uncomfortable with somebody trying to reach out to you and trying to offer you their services, please bring them to me. I will kick them out without questions asked. I don't care who they are. They're out. Whether they understood it or not, bye-bye. Whether I have a relationship with them or not, bye-bye. The thing is, we shouldn't be tolerating that. Yeah, you can definitely. I mean, our belief of a business loan is we need to tie it always to business credit, right? We need to think about what is our payback scale? We're on 0 to 100. We're on a 61. Our trade lines are looking like this, right? There's so many little elements, and I'm not getting into all of them right now. But there's also the personal side of the equation. So if you have that high of a personal credit score, then we can look at situations like, does a personal loan make sense to you, right? It might not make sense to you. Like let me connect this. I'm at 20%. So I have to ask you, like, what are the funds being used for one? And if it makes sense, do we do a personal loan? If it doesn't, then what do we do? For debt consolidation, it may. For other expenses, it will. For new locations or something you're transferring over in your business, it may make sense. There are other purposes for the personal loan. But if you're talking in a business sense, let's say, with an 800 credit score, that will open a lot of doors because you're falling into that excellent score, right? You're falling just in there. And so at an 800, without getting all the other full details, like if you have an 800, usually 700 plus and above with a $50,000 per month within each of the last 3 months, at least 2+ years in business, depends on the industry, selected industries, maybe we get more, maybe get less. A lot of lenders have pulled back. I've spoken with so many, they're like, we don't do this anymore in the construction, we don't do this here. We actually require them to have more time in business. It's unfortunate, but this is what we have, and this is why we do it. But yeah, with those details, that puts you in an A-paper lending client. So your personal credit score alone is what you can go and apply. And we don't even like with these cash advances, not getting into depth with like business term loans and all those, but with like a cash advance, we can just base it off of personal credit. We don't actually have to report it to the credit bureaus, the biggest one like DNB, right? Dun and Bradstreet. So yeah, just with an 800 credit score alone, and I have to ask you what the funds are used for. I have to say, see how much time in business, what is your actual revenue, what is the lowest month, the average month, the amount within the last 3, 4, 6 months or so, and then we just take it from there. And then I give you your options, and then I let you run with it. I let you go. Okay, he gave me all these options, so he recommends I do this, and then that's how we work from there. So yeah, and then I have right now getting people submitting forms. So I do appreciate your guys' time, and it'll be well worth it. Trust me, this will pay off. Whether you can get accepted now for funding or not, I don't just get on here to just speak. I don't like to just hear myself. But yeah, Anik, please, like when you're done with this, I don't know if you've seen my email, but or if you've replied back to it, I'm actually gonna check. Possibly not because you're here. But please reply back to my text if possible with that question that I've asked. I think I asked it in the text. And then if you can reply back to the email if you find it. Usually it lands in the spam box. But that'll be that. That's okay. If you don't have 50, that's okay. Like I said, 50,000 is like for an A paper lending. So there's like B, C, D, E, and it can go even further sometimes. But with a minimum of 5,000 plus per month within each of the last 3 months. That is ideal. No lender wants to go underneath that. And we're talking about a lump sum right now. If it were withdraw whenever you want and use a revolving line of credit, we're talking about 10,000, maybe 15,000, in some cases 20,000, with a differentiation in a credit score. And so that can be helpful. So I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you submitted a funding form. Did you? That's the best way for me. Like I tell everybody here, that's the best way for me to understand what you're doing. So if I were to just type this in, then I would get a bigger, yeah. So that's the best thing to do. Nice, yeah. If you can please respond back to that right now, I could probably just take a look at it. So, and I don't know if you want to put it out here. I think it's better that you put it in the text or the email. But yeah, if you want to submit funding details, it's the best thing to do. And I will take care of you. I take care of every single person and their file. And I match you up with the best lenders, the best brokerages, the best underwriters possible for these situations, for your industry, no, bar none. I do it every single day. And like today, we might not be able to get you funding. Sounds good. Awesome. Appreciate it. Might not do it all in one day today because it is after 3, but tomorrow's Friday. So if you were to have the right details and we looked at it all and it all looks good, submit it. Maybe we can get you funding same day, maybe within a day, maybe as soon as Monday, etc. Depends on the file. But yeah, you submit those details as low as 5,000 plus per month. If you're doing 20,000 plus per month within each of the last 3 months, it can qualify you from, again, 1 to 2 extra monthly. Like you guys have heard me say that time and time again. You're like, this guy sounds like a robot. He's repeating himself. But it's the more I say it, the more it'll be stuck up here. Because whether you know it or not, you're an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs, we're problem solvers. We ask the right question. We ask ourselves how, not, we don't ask ourselves, when will I make this money? How long will it take me? Or what do I need to know? What skills do I need to get me to where I need to get to in business? And that's the best way to ask it. And so, yeah, if it's 5,000 plus, better. 20,000 puts you in a bracket where we can try to get you 1 to 2x of your monthly. If it's just 5,000 above, below 20,000, we maybe can get you up to 75%. If you qualify for a line of credit, is it a banking online credit? Then maybe it's 40 to 60%. Is it a different solution through a private lender? Then we might be able to give you to 150 to 200% of your lowest month or your average amount within the last 3. But we look at a lot more situations, and this is the stuff that I break down. So if you put a funding submission form, like I tell everybody here, just be serious about it. Don't just leave it. Don't just like submit it and then I respond back and then I never hear from you. Like if you're serious about it, because I do take my time. I'm very serious. I look at these files and I go, hey, this person, okay, they have this, so I'm gonna respond back to them in this sense and this way. So, and you're gonna get an in-depth look. So, yeah. And I have people today who are like appreciating it, like, who does this? They've asked me, like, who's done this before? I don't even know. But what you just gave me as opposed to going over here just saved me a lot of time. And what they gave me there and I'm getting here, I'm comparing the two and I'm like, what you gave me is actually a lot better. And I didn't see it like that. I was about to go get approved over here through a direct lender as opposed to coming maybe to a brokerage here, or if it's the vice versa, if it's I went through a brokerage but then I didn't need this, instead I wanted this direct lender because I knew that. So let's see, does anybody have any more questions? So yeah, just to answer those things on business credit building in the bio, we can definitely increase some paydeck skills. We can definitely improve who you're going through when you're going through vendors, when you're going through and getting your trade lines and how you're getting those trade lines built. What business credit cards do you have access to? Are they corporate? Are they the Brex? Are they the Shells of the world? So the gas, what does that do? Like I had an individual the other day, can I get a business credit card without using my personal FICO credit score? Yeah, there's ways of doing this, or using your SSN, but it's not available to the people who don't have like credit worthiness. Like you have to have something built. And I don't think through a 61 is always the best thing. You gotta be above usually 70s, but it depends. You know, there's a lot of factors. It's just when I have had to deal with this, I've done it for myself. It's just always constantly changing. So I always have to be staying up with the times, just as much as you guys are. So let's see. We'll leave this again for a little bit more, and I'm sure this time I will be gone. You guys have things to do. I do too. Like I gotta go sleep. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm going to go take a little break. I'm going to go lay my head on the pillow and just think about some of the things I reflected on here. I'm going to do a leg workout today, and then I'm going to get in a bath. That's what I do. That's how I recover. Like this guy does baths. No, I do it because I recover. It's like, you are very welcome. So yeah, make sure you submit that funding form. Again, it's like no cost. All that information is between you and I. It's very confidential. I have people of all magnitudes. Doesn't matter if you can't get funding now, you have little or no revenue, you have the most amount of revenue. I deal with all types. I have people who are submitting files who are doing millions upon millions per month, per year, 500, 700,000. I have people who are doing nothing. And don't be shy. Don't be like, there's some of these files who come through where I'm like, I have to guess, what are your monthly sales? Like you didn't put anything, or you just put like little to none. And I'm like, what does that mean? How does that look like? Because even if you don't qualify, you might not think you do. I need to know, like, how realistic can I help you? Like, how close are you? Like, where are you? Like, that's why it's necessary to put a number. You put a number. Because I can then, in my head, I go, okay. And then I go to my notes here and I start putting some numbers down. This is what I do. I really do all this. And I go and I geek out on my numbers and I go, well, the APR, how do I calculate my APR based on this interest rate? Because they're probably thinking that. And so if it's an interest rate that I will assume would be 30%, but let me do the numbers on this APR and I can multiply it by the principal of all that. So I do all these little things. And so don't think it's like an automated machine behind all this. It's me. And at any moment, guys, you guys go visit my brand. It's viralfundingsolutions.com. That's where you guys will get a lot more information, services, blog content, understanding of what you can qualify. I have a quiz qualifier if you guys want to go through that and see what you can qualify for. Funding form, you can find it through there. My free 6-step pre-approval lending checklist. So you know with 110% confidence and certainty you will be approved without wasting time. I'm talking about days, weeks, months, and even years of sifting through old, outdated information, stuff that is scammy, stuff that only worked in the past, it's not updated for today. Everything you're getting in that free checklist is in there. So I go above and beyond. So you guys know, when you're going to go into an application, you have confidence. You're not like, man, I wish I knew. You know. And if you don't know, it's because you don't pay attention. And it's just, that's human nature. Who in here, raise your hand, who in here like would hear the teacher speaking and kind of just like, yep, doesn't look like it's going to be that day for me. Me, I've always been an academic, to be honest with you guys. Like, out of the two of us, I'd say me. I'm the older one, my brother. And my little brother was a Gemini. You guys are like, oh, Gemini. Yeah. I'm a Libra, he's a Gemini, so I know how Geminis work. I know how you guys can be, and you gals can be. But, you know, it's kind of funny the difference when I see us two. And it's not because it's a Gemini thing. It's just, you know, he's just like, he liked school, but he didn't really like it at all, so he wouldn't want to continue with it. I was pushing myself as being the older brother, setting the example, and I became really good at my academics. And then the thing is, the point being is you guys just got to pay attention. Open your ears and pay attention and just listen. like you guys are doing now. And if you just soak up the information, it's one thing, but you have to apply that, right? You learn in class, take notes, come home, study, come back the next day. If it's the exam or you're ready for something else, do it. So yeah, that will conclude everything finally in this video. I will have to be going. I have a few files I have to complete, a few people to respond back to. I do appreciate each and every one of your guys' time. I really do. I am tired. It is a Thursday though. It's really my heavy day. Tomorrow I just kind of relax a little bit. But you might see me tomorrow. You may not. Perhaps this weekend, maybe not. Try tuning in. I don't know if I'm going to post another video on this channel. I do appreciate every one of you who have liked this video. And maybe this will be uploaded later on so you guys can reflect on it and see what I've spoken about. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye.